Good morning, guys. Welcome to my Saturday trade recap. I just want to be transparent with you guys. Last month, I deposited $20 into my life account and I was able to grow it to $30. I withdrew it to solve an emergency. By God's grace, I'm definitely going to fund again soon. But for now, I'm keeping consistency by documenting my journey. So eventually, this week, I've been trading mainly on my demo and the FTMO free trial, 10K free trial account, just focusing on practicing my setups and reviewing my process. So definitely let's jump into it. So this is my GBPJPY chart, my 4 hour chart. So I'm definitely going to jump down to my 1 hour. Remember, after marking the high and low of the week, I definitely was seeing a sell market on GBPJPY. Earlier also, if you watch my previous posts and videos, I said I was going to be shorting USDJPY and I was going to be longing GBP and gold. So here is my GBPJPY trade and how it played out for last week. So as you can clearly see on my charts, I was definitely more of the bearish side on GBPJPY as you can see on my chart. On this day, definitely saw an opportunity, and then while I saw opportunity here, I saw the high of the low of the week. I saw the psychological level and I saw an MO pattern here. So I went in with a 30 stop loss and then was targeting 100 pips. So I was targeting 100 pips. Yeah, I was targeting 100 pips. In this case, though the chart says 94.2, but I was targeting 100 pips. So as you can clearly see, I was on this sell trade and then was in profit, a little bit of profit. And then initially price was moving in my direction, and then while it was moving in my direction, I reduced my risk from 30 to 15 pips. I reduced my risk from 30 pip stop loss to 15 pip stop loss. As you can clearly see, what happened, price eventually got reversed and stopped me out on stop loss. So then, while I was doing that also, I also saw another opportunity to go in for a sell because I definitely knew that price finds it difficult to break the high or low of the week, especially when the bias has been a downtrend. So what happened again? I went in again, seeing an MO pattern, psychological level and high of the week. I went in for a sell, risking 30 pips. Then what happened again? Price eventually stopped me out on 30 pips, stop loss. Then as you can clearly see on the chart, I changed my bias. I changed my bias from a sell market to a buy market. So why did I change my bias? Around this level, I saw a rejection. Price has eventually broke above the high of the week and the psychological level. So I saw that okay, since price have eventually done that, price is eventually going to retest the high of the week and the psychological level. So that will give me a position to go in long. So what happened again? I went in for a 30 pip stop loss and then was targeting 100 pips. So while on this trade, I clearly see that price eventually was definitely not going to buy. I closed off on the little loss. I closed off on a little loss, as you can see. I closed it off around this level when I saw price eventually coming down and going up. So I closed up. I knew definitely that the buy wasn't going to be established. So that was what happened on GBP JPY. So let's fall down to USD JPY, which I said I was going to be shorting. So because like I told you guys, I was only able to mark out my high and low of the week on Tuesday because of Monday. I definitely didn't do anything. I was very busy, like I said, if you watch my previous video. So on USD JPY, I definitely saw this as an opportunity as well. I saw this rejection around this level, which is my psychological level that is definitely going to be acting as resistance to push the market to the downside. So what happened from this level? You can see the market sold for 50 pips. And then I was definitely hoping that and believing that it's going to drop to the downside. So it took time to play out. As you can clearly see, was risking 29.3 pips to make 100 pips. So which gives us a good ratio reward of 3.44. So as you can clearly see, was on the sell trade. And what happened? What happened? As you can clearly see from the chart, price eventually did a 50 pip sell and then reversed to the entry point. And then that same price reversed to the entry point. I definitely knew That was a confirmation for the price to dump to the downside. So eventually price moved to the downside, but eventually reversed again and stopped me out on this stop loss, which I updated on the WhatsApp group. So I updated this on the WhatsApp group. So while that was the case, I clearly saw that okay, the sell wasn't established. So eventually price broke above the high of the week, and then the psychological level price broke above it. Then I switched my attention quickly to the gold. So let's quickly jump into gold recap. So as you can clearly see on gold, remember on gold, I said that I was going to be longing gold after marking the high and low of the week. So as you can clearly see, this is the gold. So I said to you that I was going to be longing gold from this part, and from this time where I finished marking the high and low of the week, I then see that price eventually have broken above the psychological level into the upside, and price eventually was on a buy. But because I definitely marked the high and low of the week on Tuesday, I definitely waited to see price eventually break. So I waited and waited and waited. Price eventually broke, and then price eventually came down. There was fundamentals this week. I think two fundamentals, CPIs and the rest. So I just have to double check. But there was fundamentals as you can clearly see. So while I was waiting, and remember on my last post I posted that on Tuesday, I said I was only going to be longing gold at the rate test once price pulls back to this level, the psychological level and high of the week. So that was my bias. I was waiting for price to eventually retest this level for me to go in long. For me to go in long. And as you can clearly see, here is the Friday trade. Here is the Friday trade. This trade I entered it on Thursday night. As you can clearly see, I entered it around 15 past 9 p.m. on Thursday because the intention was to enter the trade that night, then close on Friday. Because I definitely saw that why the gold dipped, why gold slipped based on fundamentals. I could clearly see that price was definitely going to be going to the upside when it comes to gold. So originally I was risking around 20 pips, 25, 18 pips thereabout. So what happened on this trade? It took time. I left it to play out. I left it because I had the plan, and my price action was telling me that price was definitely going to the upside. So as you can clearly see, I entered on this level when I saw this double pattern being formed here on top of the high of the week. I saw this that price was eventually going to the upside. So I went in for a buy on gold, and while it took so much time, but I wasn't bothered on this trade because I knew definitely that eventually it was going to play out. So I entered on this trade, and while it took time, as you can see, it came up, then rejected. Here it got rejected again. So when price then definitely got rejected again, I knew definitely that all I needed was to just be patient. So I was just patient all through. Definitely, I didn't tighten my stop loss until this move came. So when this move came, it was in the morning. As you can see, it was Friday around 6:15 a.m. I woke up and I saw price has eventually made this move. So I had the option to close off on this trade on this profit. At the time of this trade, when price got to this level, on the small account I was up $20. Then on the 10K account I was up around, I think they're about $700, $700. But I definitely knew that that wasn't the bigger picture. I knew the bigger picture, the price was going to break above. As you can clearly see, price eventually came down to the entry position again. So price was doing that, I already reduced my risk. I reduced it to around this level. I've forgotten how many pips, but I reduced it around this level. I reduced it around this level. So while the trade was here, it was morning around 6:15. As you can see here, 6:45. I was like, why didn't I take the trade? Why didn't I take the profit that the market has offered me? But one thing I knew for sure that the price action was telling me that gold was eventually going to buy. Gold was eventually going to buy. I wasn't going to be lying, or rather, I won't lie. It was tough, same price, move in profit, and then come back to the same entry position. So what I did was just to sit it out, just wait, allow price to do whatever it wants to do. So price kept on doing its stuff, came down, then went up again, came down. Then when price eventually gave this double pattern, remember I said I look out for three confluences or four confluences. I saw from this level the high of the week. I saw the psychological level. Then I definitely saw a double pattern here. So I saw this double pattern and I knew eventually that price was heading to the upside. So I saw this movement here, then I was more confident. I was more confident. I allowed it to play out. Then while all this was going on, when it started moving in my direction, I tightened my stop loss and I broke even on this trade. I broke even on this trade, and while it was there, you can clearly see where I left, exited the trade. I also updated the WhatsApp group to say close this trade in profit. So we closed this trade around 30.1 pips in profit. So definitely this was what happened. As you can clearly see, I closed this level and price still kept on pushing. But the goal was definitely for the take profit to be tapped, to be smashed on Friday. That was the intention, for the take profit to be smashed on Friday. But what happened? I closed up because it's been a long day, and at this point in time when I closed up, it was around 15 past 5 on Friday, 5 p.m. on Friday. So I just wanted to just at least take a breather because I was holding the trade from Thursday night around 9:15 to Friday 7:15. So I just told myself, okay, yes, whether I definitely know that it's going to go to the upside, but I just need to close off now on this trade in profit so we can then regroup again. So that was what, as you can clearly see, I closed off on this level and price still kept on surging. And on the small account, the $50 account, definitely I was up $30. So I closed off on this account $30, while on the 10K, I closed off around $1,500. So that's why I definitely wanted to at least take this time, as I always do. Saturdays are for trade recaps. So I just wanted to at least be transparent with you guys. I just wanted to know that I'm documenting my journey. It's definitely not perfect, but eventually I'm documenting it to be transparent with you guys to see and to know how my journey is going and how it's been going. So if you like my journey and if you want to be part of it, if you like me to post more of this daily and trade recaps, my daily setups, I want you to subscribe, like, follow for more.